So yeah, we're trying to land this plane today. Or we're trying to land this spaceship today.
Mm-hmm.
See if we can make this the final session. So yeah, we'll start with these retcons.
Mm-hmm.
I've listened to the last session a few times, and yeah, I forgot to point out something very important about in the identifier codes, the HM or the HF, meaning human male or human female. The obvious answer slipped my mind. There are only humans. There are no aliens. So Hewlett would have said, why would they specify that you're human? Doulos doesn't hire dogs or ET or anything like that. So that would have been his objection to that being male or female. Mm-hmm. Also, this clarification about the way things are supposed to work with the memory wipe. Hewlett would have explained that, okay, because I hear a lot of the things that you guys are saying about Doulos, we keep forgetting the obvious thing, that the way it's supposed to work is you're supposed to wake up after the memory wipe in a special facility until your memory functions stabilize. You are supposed to wake up to a video every day that explains everything to you, and the video is you explaining it to yourself. Now see how that would have made a huge difference, and how it makes a huge difference for 99% of the Doulos people. Since Doulos is getting sloppier, there have been instances where people are being sent up prematurely and therefore feel the way that all of you do. Hewlett said he guesses they figure it doesn't matter what you think or suspect because the brain water and behavior module will take care of all of that. And then of course you guys, lost your captain. Usually the captain reins these sorts of things in because all it takes is one malcontent. And the discontent becomes suspicion, which spoken aloud becomes discord, which becomes sedition, and then mutiny. So that's basically how it's happened with you guys. And then I made another note here. When they wake up in a facility every day, when they get memory wiped, to a video that explains their situation, it is a video of themselves. You see yourself speak the name that you chose for your new life and an explanation of what is going on, but you're not allowed to say why. You just read from a screen into a camera. So something like, because of the unbearable or unendurable or whatever circumstances in my personal life, I consent to have my identity and my memories erased and choose of my own free will to be known as Bardet, Hero, whatever, an employee of the Doulos Corporation contracted to the company until retirement or death. So one day, usually after 10 to 12 days, memory functions stabilize. It isn't gradual. You just suddenly wake up and you remember the video from yesterday. The standard operating procedure is to keep you one more day and send you out the next morning. For whatever reason, you were released a day early, or I guess 2 days early. And this leads to the kind of catastrophes that your assignment has turned out to be. Doulos headquarters has been rushing batches out in the last year, and they either forgot why the rule exists or someone decided it didn't matter. The crews will just have to get over it and the brain water should take care of that, but somebody forgot to carry a 1 or something. Hewlett knows of 4 cases in the last year, but this one was by far the worst, not having a captain to contain it. So, I don't have the list in front of me, you guys do. Oh, well, recap Vril video, you guys all watched the Vril video, right? Okay. We'll hold off on discussing that video. What's next?
The DFT 7118 has jumped for 4803.
Yes, so we have not been using the coordinate system, but there are little numbers. There is a coordinate system. I've written in red right there 4803. That's where you guys are going to be dropping out of jump when you drop.
Hewlett is tied up and gagged, and his con cuff has been removed from his ear.
Everybody remember all that, I assume? Okay.
Hewlett had to unlock contact nav helm sensors, but ship systems is still locked.
Does that agree with what everybody remembers? That he did in the emergency have to unlock a couple of stations, but yeah, we did not see him unlock ship systems. Is there more?
The ship isn't expected at Malleus for another week.
Right, yeah, that makes sense, right? You guys have jumped.
Uh-huh.
Even once you drop out of jump, they still won't be expecting you for another week. Okay, Vril video. Anybody got anything to say or ask about the Vril video?
I think that that the conversation between Vril and Kralix happened, maybe not exactly the same, but I think they still had one in real.
That no matter how we saw it happen, Vril and Kralix are in league with one another, it seems. That's what
Yeah.
you're saying, yeah.
That he was up to no good the whole time.
Yeah, yep, I was trying to telegraph it from the very beginning that he was going to be trouble, and maybe you didn't pick up on it, but I like to think once you see it all in a row, it's like, well, yep, there it was the whole time. We should have.
The other thing that was very clear is that Vril was messing with the communication between the ship and our comcops.
Yeah, he was all in your system. Anything else about Vril? Or about the Vril video? Or anything else we need to cover before we begin the story? We all recapped up and everything? Alright, so that leads to the big question. Are we ready for story time?
Yes.
Yes.
Alright, I want everybody to open up Hangouts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, alrighty. So, 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, Hewlett sat at a computer terminal watching the time. He's nervous, tense. The other two always find, conveniently, something to do when it's time for the report call. But he is the supervisor after all, and he's already on thin ice, and now he's got loads of new bad news to report. This isn't his fault. The company sent them out prematurely. Their captain was killed. Then they had the engine troubles. What could we possibly do? At 240 beats, the call comes in. Hewlett licks his lips and swallows. The situation is worse. Brindle's locked down with a virus, so they couldn't dock. They ended up taking a wave job, a passenger, and they left the system. Well, of course, I can't know for sure, but they exited the system towards Stukimi. Hello? I'm still here. Are you still there? Wait, what, me? Captain? I don't know how to do that, and, Captain Dith is already on Brindle, awaiting their arrival, ready to take over, so... And my ship, they're going to continue on their assignment without me. Will I be transferred back to my ship after I'm done at Nellius? Or am I being reassigned too? Hello? He's left looking at the few words on the screen, and he says into the silence, I just really don't think this is a good idea. And now those words, I really just don't think this is a good idea, are running through his mind as he tries to breathe around the gag in his mouth. He really wants to go blow his nose. I mean, of all the things going on right now, the crew mutinied, he's tied up and gagged, and that's on top of the problems he already has. And he can manage to think about blowing his nose. Now, surely, you guys would not have left him tied up all week. In fact, as I was thinking to the possibilities, I was thinking surely Bosk would volunteer to guard him around the clock. Or would it just be easier to lock or guard all the systems and or terminals? I'll give it to you that restraints can be found in the lockers down below. And I would think surely everyone being armed is a safer way to fly when you got a guy like this on board. I also want to point out that there has been plenty of discussing and arguing of the philosophy of all of this. But I don't think it'll be fun to sit here and role play the hours and hours of debate that especially the two of you had. So we are just going to say that yes, during this jump week, there has been lots of arguing. Hewlett says that comfort and safety are everything. That staying with Doulos is the only safe option that he has. That it is a big, scary universe out there, and you guys have even experienced it with pirates and whatnot. So, engine troubles that crash land you on an uncontacted world. The way Hewlett sees it, this is the best life available in such a cold, indifferent universe. Now, what is Vril's reaction to the cold, indifferent universe? Seems like he's decided if there is no one to answer to, why not just take what I want, you know? That's not Hewlett's response to it. Hewlett's response is, hey, I got a safe place to hide. Now, you have a lot of arguments about, but is that life? Is that living? And you guys, again, especially you two, have gone back and forth all week, okay? But no. You did not untie him right away, and having him restrained even a short time made it clear of just how much of a weenie he is. It doesn't take much threatening to get him to talk. But it's also certain that he doesn't know all the secrets of Doulos. Okay, so what have you just learned about Hewlett with this flashback scene? There's something really obvious that nobody has said out loud yet. They told him to assume the interim captain position, and what was his response?
He didn't feel qualified.
So he's not a captain.
Mm-mm.
So what is he?
He could be a handler.
Yes, you've gotten at him over the last week. Yes, he's your handler. He's one of the handler crew. He's been watching you the entire time. Everything that has happened in the last 19 sessions, Hewlett has been watching you the entire time. Now, he explained to you how he got here, how he landed this job, and that's the flashback scene that we saw, okay? You've got your handler right here tied up and gagged in front of you.
Has he heard our plans for what we plan on doing?
Would you keep it from him? Or would you
Well, if he just
let him
wants to, go back to his, if we
Comfortable life.
let him take the Doulos ship to get back to wherever, he's gonna know our plans.
Yeah, but as long as we can,
He could be valuable though if we keep him. We could
for what? As long as we're able to jump before he can be in communication, we could just keep him until the ship is fixed.
By the way, what was unusual about that communication?
no one was talking to him.
He speaks and he gets all his replies by text.
Mm-hmm.
Why would that be? And have you ever seen that before?
No.
Yes.
Oh.
At the secret base on Kavma, they sent you text messages telling you where to land and that sort of thing, but they did
never
not.
talked with us.
Right, and does anybody remember why?
Oh, because they're like the silent type people. that don't talk.
They also speak in a different language.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
completely
probably
different.
why you were getting the text, is because, you know, they sent it through a translator or something. Oh, well, yes, you can jump up here. Might that be the reason why text was coming in to Hewlett? I don't know. But where would Hewlett have to be having a real-time conversation with Doulos headquarters?
Almost, well, it could be their like faster than fast
Hmm.
communication network. And then didn't they weren't like some parts of Doulos controlled by computers?
Well, there's a rumor that they're not controlled by humans, and
Mm-hmm.
so... But yes, that's very unusual communication. And yes, it certainly reveals that not only is he your handler, but he has been the whole time. So, but yes, he's also not really a threat, except for that power that he has.
He could be a assistant janitor.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't know.
We could give him the option of if he wants to come with us or stay with the Doulos ship. We'll even gag you and tie you up so that way they just think that we abandoned you.
So yes, we are just recapping the week before we drop out of jump at the end of the first jump. We need to decide how you guys handled Hewlett and what kind of questions you had for him once you found out that he is your handler.
So if we're off the ship, do the comm cuffs. Can we be disabled via comm cuff?
Hmm.
Yeah, but maybe if we take his comm cuff with us.
Well, but like if let's say we get on Ming's ship, will the comm cuff have any effect on us?
Well, every time that we were disabled or whatever, we were on the ship, so I would think it would have to be with the ship.
Well, and Vril was doing everything in between the ship and our comm cuff, and the ship broadcasts comm cuff feeds.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Maybe just in case we should blow up the ship.
So, I wonder, can we get Hewlett to unlock the remaining station ship sensors or
Oh,
ship
yeah.
systems?
Yeah, you didn't even have to threaten him much. I think you made a scary face. And, oh, okay, I'll do it. But you would have had to have tied him up to, untied him to,
Mm-hmm. And I wonder if we can start working on trying to figure out if we can disable this communication.
Also, we should try to figure out how to like put the Mika chip into the other ship.
So that would be another one thing we could do. The other thing is I had my secret feed, or the feed that I found. I probably could just disable it.
to what end?
Well, if that feed is being sent out, and that feed is like us moving around the ship and listening to what we have, what if I just unplugged it?
Okay, there were multiple feeds that were running into the black box.
Mm-hmm.
It would occur to you that, wait a minute, everything we're doing and saying is being recorded to the black box.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Destroy the black box.
yes, you could try to destroy the black box, or you could try unplugging all the leads to it. What do you want to do?
Let's do both.
How about we throw the black box into space?
How do we? But what if they? I guess it'd be hard to pick up. Does
Okay,
it have
now-
a power source?
The black box is obviously not just a little box that's sitting there. It's an entire, there's no way you're going to remove just the black box, probably.
Okay.
As far as power source, I'm sure it's one of these cables. I want you to give me a roll with the skills that would apply to disabling the black box feeds.
Engineering,
Sure?
intelligence.
All right.
Okay. Well then, yeah, then I succeeded. It's an 11.
Okay, 11, yeah, that's quite a success. Okay, there are only a couple of cables that you were not able to remove. And I thought I'm even going to do anything with this, but I'm thinking of the original description that I gave of the feeds into the black box, and I don't think you'd be able to pull all of them. But the ones that you pulled, you know what they do. They're now there's no information showing up on the little monitor thing. So, okay, we can assume that it is not being recorded.
Maybe we should.
Give me another one of those rolls. Stand by, boss.
With engineering plus intelligence, that's 14.
Okay. So you can say definitively that you are unable to find, I mean, you'd have to track all those cables. They're obviously, okay, these cables are terminating at the black box, which means they're being broadcast somewhere else in the path. And that, you know, you can't find. So you're unable, so far as you know, to cut off the feed that's broadcasting from the ship. But, again, it's not being recorded. So what exactly would somebody be receiving? And where does the stuff get broadcast to? Who's monitoring that feed?
The handlers, assumably.
And what did Hewlett say about his ship?
It went someplace else.
Yeah, they're going to go out on their assignment. So it could be there's not a handler nearby to be listening to this. In fact, who pressed Hewlett for this information? Who said, tell us, is there a handler ship nearby or not? Who did that?
Me.
All right, what role do you think would apply?
Hold on.
I could do it, and I could do weapons and strength, because then he'd be scared.
She called it first.
I think Harriet has like persuasion or something, don't you?
Nah, I made the same mistake in the last session, and Vlad said she has that in Traveler, but that's it.
Oh.
I have streetwise. Look at marker.
Maybe we'll say that can give you an indication of if he's lying or not.
Because, yeah, I don't really have anything else. I mean, I've got pistols.
Yeah, roll streetwise.
Like,
Should I take an engineering?
Oh, yeah, sure.
10.
2 of them. 10. Yeah, he says there is no handler ship nearby. He is here instead of having a handler ship nearby, and you believe him.
Okay. How would Doulos, if we...
Oh, time to turn the page. If you got a quick question, get it in there. That's fine.
So, how do handler ships track cruise ships?
How do handlers ship? Oh, there it is. I mean, he could tell you what the buttons and screens look like, but he can't describe the technology. Now, you in the alternate universe got a glimpse into a handler ship with the huge console that had multiple feeds and showing bio signs and all of that. So I guess to answer the question, how do you track us from your handler ship, would be from our handler ship. He wouldn't be able to give you the specifics.
Okay.
But follow-up questions are fine.
How well does how do handler ships track Doulos Corp people when they're not near their ships? Or can they? And what is the range?
Yeah, my answer is going to be they can't, but I'm thinking back to the story and trying to think, does that break canon anywhere? Because if it does, we can't do it. But
if we use the Doulos credit card.
true. I will give you a 99% certain that no, they can't track the comm cuffs when you're away from the ship.
We could sell the Doulos credit card.
Ooh, interesting thought.
So
But it's a thought we will hold for after the bio break.